Closure is a very, very powerful tool. It's a very, very powerful tool. And what I mean with that is that people, they will use the power of closure over you. And if you're not none the wiser or whatever the case may be, this is be one of the ways that people will have a very big stronghold over you. Like you could have had people in the past, whether they are in your life or they've gone or whatever the case may be, they could have done something or a relationship could have ended. And the person did not give closure. There was no closure. And so you're left in limbo. You don't understand truly what happened. Everything is kind of like all over the place. And you over there just trying to look for your damn glasses. That's how lost you are. And this is like how somebody could have left your life or people could have left your life and you had no closure whatsoever. And what that does is oftentimes in our psyche as humans, we like to get to the conclusion of things. Like if you've ever heard of those mysteries or those crime mysteries, I'm like one of those people where I do not like to listen to crime mysteries where you don't know who did it. You don't know who was the doggone offender. Or, when you have a book or something like that, or like a cliffhanger, people know how important it is and the psychological factor of it when you're like left at a cliffhanger. Like, for example, if you ever watched a really good TV series, have you ever seen those TV series where there was a season that had just ended and it was crazy and it left it like you just left in awe, you left in wonderment, but the next season won't come out till like next year or something like that. And you just stuck right there. You really want to know. You really want to know. You really want to know. And all that really want to know and all that want, it gives you to get when it comes out next year. You really are excited to see it. You're like almost like a guarantee. And these people who make movies and things of that nature, they do that stuff on purpose. They intentionally do not give you closure at the last season. Why? Is because it piques the interest. It's going to have you come back for the next season. You're way more likely to come back for the next season. In general, we as humans, we want to have the final conclusion. We want to know how the cookie crumbles. We want to know the ending. That's just simply who we are as people. And so as a result, skilled manipulators are people who understand this aspect of the human psyche. They will use that very same power over you or over individuals. And the reason why they're doing that is because they know that they have power. They know that the person is still attracted. They might not necessarily be attracted to them in the sense that they're physically attractive. They're attractive in the sense that they want to end that book. They want to edit, and close that chapter and go on to the next chapter. And as long as that person, whoever is the manipulator, they know that as long as they don't give you that closure, you're hook, line, and sinker on them. That you're still going to be there at some way, shape, or form. That they can re-enter your life because they understand that you want to have the closure. This is why they will never, ever give it to you. And this is one thing you as an individual have to understand if you are going through this with people. They will never give you the closure. And when I say closure, I don't mean just with romantic. I mean, you can have this with family. You can have this with friends. You can have this like with workplaces. You can have this all over the doggone place. It's not just in one setting. It's all over the place. In any type of human-to-human interactions, this dynamic or this power play can start to come up where people are holding the power of closure over your head so that you are always bounded to them. And in understanding this, you got to also understand like just how they understand human psyche. You got to understand the psyche of people that you deal with out in this world. A lot of people, they will do that. Like a lot of people, they like to have you pining after them. They like you wanting to seek answers and like running up after them because that makes them feel good. It makes their ego feel good that they looking at it as like, oh yeah, look, I got this person wrapped around my finger, or I got this and this and this. And truthfully, they're just being manipulative, and they understand that, but they're able to bolster up their ego. They're able to feel better about themselves because you are in a state where you want closure and you don't understand what happened. You don't understand what went on. And you're just trying to get to the bottom of it, and they will never give it to you. They will never give it to you because that is where their power over you lies. It's in the closure. And you got to understand how people, they will maintain power in any atmosphere or any sense that, that it is. And in not providing you with closure, it has a power dynamic over you because you want to know how the rest of the book ends. You want to end that chapter. And this keeps people stuck in life. Some people be like, man, why am I so stuck? They stuck because they stuck. Sometimes people are stuck mentally. They might not be stuck financially necessarily. They might not be stuck in a job. People will do a lot of moving. That's another thing. People will confuse you because people will do a lot of moving, but that does not mean that they're advancing forward in life. They're just moving a lot, and it appears that they're moving forward in life. And sometimes the reason why they're not moving forward in life is because they're still hung up on something that occurred in the past. And it's very difficult to move forward in life unless you correct the past. It's very difficult to understand how the next chapter is going to start if you don't understand how the last chapter was. You just can't enter a TV series of the sixth season and not know what happened prior to, or whatever the case may be. It'd be all good. No, you have to go back at the beginning and start from there so everything can make sense. Otherwise, you left in limbo. Otherwise, you're left in a state of confusion. But when people want power over you, which is what a lot of people want, they still want access to you. It's extremely selfish. They are intentionally being extremely selfish. They don't care. They understand that it might cause you hurt, harm, and pain. They don't care. It's all about them. And so this is what you have to understand with human psyche. They crave power. And if people are, a lot of people, we operate off of our ego. And ego is not bad. It's not. Pride is not necessarily bad, but it's the destructive levels that people have nowadays that is bad. Where people, they do nothing more but worship because themselves, because our society promotes everybody to worship themselves. Their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the other stuff, the other social medias are their church. Their people that follow them are their followers. They're their they're adherents of whatever religion that person. The religion is the individual who is worshiping themselves. Just like how they have influencers, that just like Jesus, what would Jesus do? What would this influencer do? And that's a lot like nowadays. But they promote this self-aggrandizement. They promote this self-worship where people only worship their damn self. They don't worship any, So they're extremely selfish, and they have a out of whack ego, okay? And they want to fill up their ego in any way, shape, or form. And they like to inflict pain on others because when doing so, these people really don't have a true self. So they feel low. And the only way that they feel better is when they cut other people down or they see people doing worse than them. That's why some people will do you dirty, then walk away, act like they don't know what just happened. They'll walk away, they'll run away from you. They won't answer phone calls and things of that nature because they do not want to end that chapter. They want to have power over you. You understand? And so with you being understanding that, you got to understand that these people will never give it to you, and you got to give it to yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You got to give it to yourself. How do you give it to yourself? You start to recognize who a person was and who you was.